let me use an example, yeah? They wanted to circumcise me.
Oh.
And I refused. Not refusing, but, I told them, okay, wacha nimalize class 8 and then you will.
Yeah.
And then now nimaliza class 8, form 4.
Yeah.
And then now the worst part that happened is it's not even my parents who are delegating it. They're the extended family,
yeah.
like the brothers. By the way, kwetu, culture yetu, mandugu wa babangu, they have so much say.
Okay.
And the women don't have a say. Yeah. So unaambiwa tomorrow you're getting circumcised. And for example, you're pregnant. What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah. And you are like 9.
Welcome to Come Clean Podcast. This is yet another episode. As you can see, I have an amazing guest with me today, and her name, she has a very unique name. She's called Lemantile Nabulu. Did I get it right?
Yeah, Lemantile Nabulu is my name.
Yeah, so Lemantile, welcome to
Thank
Come
you so
Clean
much.
Podcast.
Thank you.
This is yet another episode, so we want to unpack whatever you actually do.
Okay.
And feel free, usikuwe na wasiwasi, tuko hapa na wewe.
Okay, thank you so much.
I think maybe you can just say something kidogo about yourself as we talk about this and what you do.
Okay. So my name is Lemantile Nabulu. I am actually from Samburu, born and raised in Samburu.
Samburu.
Yeah. So Nairobi tu ni kuhustle here and
Kukuja,
there.
wewe ni wa kukama.
Ni wa kukuja. Yeah, basically mimi ni wa kukuja. So I have an organization. It's called Girls Dignity and Empowerment Initiatives Programs. It's basically about making the girls out there in Samburu the queen that they are. So I want them to know that they can get to where I am at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, I am actually the founder. I have my team, but they are not here today.
Okay. Utakuja nao next time.
Yes, of course, nitakuja nao next time.
Wamekaribishwa sana.
Yeah.
So I want to understand your organization and actually what it does. So we'll get into that. But just to ask, Samburu hawakwangi wengi sana?
No, we are actually, and I want to tell you something, yeah? People confuse Samburu ya Mombasa and Samburu ya the northern part of Kenya. Okay. So I come from the northern part of Kenya. So we neighbor Marsabit, Isiolo, Pokot, you know. Yeah.
Maybe so. I've been to Turkana.
You've been to Turkana?
Yeah,
what side of Turkana?
Hey, wacha nifikirie. What was the name? Lodwa.
Oh, Lodwa, okay.
And Lokitang.
Oh, Lokitang, okay. That's in the northern part, yes.
Yeah. You've been to Turkana?
Yes, I have been to Turkana.
So Turkana and Samburu is not far?
It's not far, but you have to go, like it depends on where you're going to Turkana. There's a place called Loyangalani. It's still part of Turkana, Turkana County. Yeah, so.
So it's not. It's your neighbors.
Yeah, we are neighbors. Yes.
Wewe ndio sasa utanipeleka Samburu.
Karibu sana. It's a good road trip.
It is, yeah. Hapo huko ndio kuna na ile
Mount Ololokwe. We have very beautiful camps. We have a really beautiful what is it called, safari, the parks and all that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We also have the natural swimming pool in Arches.
Pia nimeona.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, very.
Is it cold or hot?
It's hot. Arches Post is hot. Like there's a part in Samburu where it's very hot. It can even get to 30 plus degrees. Yeah, like same 32, 34. That is in Archers. Lysam is that, but Lysam is now part of Marsabit. And you know there are Samburus who live in Isiolo County. So actually, my family Lemantile comes from Isiolo County. Yeah.
Mimi lakini nafanya Tembe Kenya.
Karibu.
Actually, sijawahi enda Central Kenya. sana. The farthest I've gone is Mwea, juu ya hiyo rice whatever, and hata hizo Isiolo, sijui Meru, never. So I think sasa now that nakujua nianze na huko.
Na vile you see we have very beautiful women.
Clearly. Sawa. So Lemantile.
Yes.
Which one would you prefer? I call you Lemantile or
Any,
Nabule?
you can call me any name.
Okay.
Yeah. Lemantile is my surname. Nabule is my name.
Okay, very unique name. So I want to understand this your organization called Girls Dignity and Empowerment Initiative, just to try and understand what it does. And in line with that, what do you think is your purpose in life?
Okay, so my purpose in life is actually family and helping people. So I tend to get helping people is like literally a drug in my body. I feel good when I see someone, a girl from a marginalized community, in school, they're driving, but then there's something in me that I just love.
Brings something in you.
So my purpose in this life is family and what I'm doing right now. I started Girls Dignity and Empowerment Initiatives program in 2017. That was when I finished high school in 2016, and in 2017 I was like, oh, what am I going to do to help my people? So I have that drive in helping my people. I'll give you a scenario. There was a day I was going around to schools, and I was just like doing mentorship program, and I was doing it for free. So one day I went to this school. I cannot mention the school's name, and there was a girl who approached me, and she was like, I want to be like you, Blue, because next week I'm getting married.
She's a young girl.
Yeah, this is like a 10 years old, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do it? And I just started it as an initiative of just talking to young girls out there, mentorship programs, counseling, and just talking to them about life in general, because I wouldn't want to see what I'm seeing back at home right now. I just want to be a change in my community.
I want a change agent.
Yes, I am a change agent. So that's basically why I started the organization, because I just really want to help someone out there who is like, hopeless, we need your help,
kinda.
And hopeless.
You want them to feel known.
Yes,
present.
And to know themselves. Even the Bible says people perish because they don't have the knowledge.
True.
So sometimes the girls out there in our community get married because they feel like it's the culture. They feel like it's a normal thing for them to get married. They have seen our parents getting married younger, going through the circumcision. In Samburu, this is what we do, because I'm part of it. You get circumcised in the morning, and then you get married the same day. So, and it's normal to them.
Normal thing.
It's normal to them because I've seen it, even in my family, my extended family, and me being a change in it. I just really, really want to change it. I want to change that notion that it's the culture. By the way, let me tell you something. Our culture is the most beautiful culture. We have beautiful ladies, beautiful women. We have it's the most beautiful. Sisi hatujacha culture yetu.
Okay, it's still
rooted.
Rooted in you. Yeah.
But there are some things that they are not, they are not good of us doing, the child marriages, the circumcision, the FGM part. I personally am not circumcised. Niliponea chupu-chupu, if that is what I can basically say. So I will just want some other like 100 young girls out there to be like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Naisula Lesuda.
Yeah, I know her. She's the MP for Samburu West.
Yes. So she's our neighbor. I would want girls to be like her. I would want girls to be like me. I would want girls to know themselves and they'd be like, we don't want to get married, you know? And what do? We empower them by doing what? By telling them this is what is wrong and what is right. And by giving them, they're girls who drop out of schools. Yeah. Because actually my organization is about we've started it as ending period poverty. I have like 2 of my classmates when we were really young, they dropped out of school because of pads. So I'm just starting it right now because I do not want kids out there to be dropping out of school. That is why I'm starting with period poverty, and then later I can do the FGM part. But you see, I will be dealing with period poverty, and I'll be expanding it to FGM, GBV, early marriages, and all that. Yeah.
And I think I love that one for period poverty, because I was in a, not rather I was, but I think I still am in a club in Naivasha called Rotaract Club of Naivasha. And those are some of the projects that we deal with, especially in ending period poverty. So what we actually do is, there's a place in Mombasa where they make, how do you call this? This reusable sanitary towels.
Right.
And now we usually give them to the girls who are in Naivasha. And then as part of that, we also train them on how to make soap making, so that they can get money for pocket money, things to do with that, just for them to be engaged. And I congratulate you for that. That's a very good step that you've taken.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, and so endelea, keep the fire burning.
Thank you so much.
So I want to understand you as a person. So growing up, how was it back in Samburu, and were there challenges you faced? And particularly, of course, in this organization, are there also challenges that you faced, and what are they? And how can you mitigate? Of course, huwezi maliza challenges zote,
yeah, right.
How can you mitigate? But I would just love to understand you as a person.
Okay.
How was growing up for you? Paint a picture for me. How was it for you back home in Samburu?
So, how do I start? Growing up in a marginalized community, or rather Samburu, because that is where I grew up. I came to Nairobi in 2017. Yeah, so you can imagine
First time?
now. Yeah, first time. Well, so all my life I've been at home. So now being at home, being raised in a marginalized community, you are raised and being taught to get rooted into the culture. Yeah. Before I came to Nairobi, I didn't even know that like there are women in Samburu who can marry outside the culture, because it's not normal. It's not normal. Yeah. So we tend to grow up in a more complex, that is the best word I can use, in a more complex situation where you are taught. We are actually, for me, I've been raised by my grandmother. So I've been raised in Manyata with my late grandmother, and I don't know if you understand Manyata life.
Of course.
And then I came to Nairobi, knowing that all I want is to just end poverty. But then I hate poverty.
Poverty is the ghetto.
Poverty is, poverty is what makes us be seen like we are cows out there. You're being raised knowing that by the end of 9 or 10 years, huyu atakuwa ng'ombe 10. You understand? So it's not easy being a Samburu, especially when you are a Samburu, alafu now you are trying to go against the culture.
Okay, yeah.
You know, they will kind of not throw you, let me not use that word, but they will how do I put it, like our culture is so rigid, you know, and they'll see you like an outsider.
Yeah,
you understand? So let me use an example. They wanted to circumcise me.
Oh.
And I refused. Not refusing, but you know, I told them, okay, wacha nimalize class 8 and then you will.
Yeah.
And then now nimemaliza class 8 form 4. Unaona?
Yeah.
And then now the worst part that happened is it's not even my parents who are delegating it, they're the extended family, like the brothers. By the way, kwetu culture yetu, mandugu wa babangu, they have so much say. Okay. And the women don't have a say. Yeah. So unaambiwa tomorrow you're getting circumcised. And for example, you're pregnant. What do you do? Yeah. And you are like 9 months pregnant and you are home, alafu unakataa kutairi. What happens? You understand?
It's very
it's kind of traumatizing kidogo, because you feel like it feels like you're going against the culture. And going against the culture means you are not agreeing to what they're telling you. So it's very difficult being a Samburu. You know, we're pretty out there, and we're just putting our head high. It's very difficult. Yeah. Plus, Pia, we Samburus don't do divorce. If you get married, you're
for life.
Ukiolewa, that is how you go to your husband's house, and then even ndo mmemalizana, you don't even go back home. What? Yeah. Even ndo umeenda ukienda. Hata in fact when they marry you off, they'll tell you don't look back. You go. Yeah. So what? It's very. Let me say it's just a beautiful culture, yes, but the things we do.
There are some good elements and bad elements.
Yeah.
That comes.
Yeah, because now you see. Marrying a Samburu, it's like winning a trophy. Let me brag about my culture kidogo. Because feel free. Now we tend to get rooted into our culture. We are submissive to our men. You know, we listen to our men. We let men lead. Yeah. And then we follow later.
Alafu kuja Nairobi unashanga.
Bana unashanga. Sasa tena unakuwa kichongomo kidogo. Unakuwa kama Nairobians. Yeah. So,
Okay, interesting. Yeah. And so for you, especially, I want to understand that part of them trying to force you these things. How are you able to, you know? Of course, you've mentioned you use wisdom to operate. So, were your parents, how do I put it, supportive with your ambitions? You know, as a girl. So Lemantile, you were saying about your mom has played a major role in, of course, upbringing you and the dynamics and the challenges at home. So how was she instrumental in your life? Alikusaidia aje?
My mom has always been really supportive when it comes to education. She took me to high school, to college, you know, been there for me. She's a teacher, actually.
Oh, okay.
And she's like a mentor, you know, because I take the leadership from my mom. You know, my mom is a leader herself. So she's been really supportive when it comes to education. And she's a deputy, so wakati mwingine ukikosea unachapwa. Yeah, she's very strict. Yeah, when it comes to education, yes. So she's been really supportive, and even against our culture, she has been like, you are a big girl, you can do this by yourself. What do you want? She has always been like, what do you want? How do you feel about this? You know, she doesn't make decisions for you. She helps you choose on the way, like she helps you yourself now choose on what way you can take in. Yeah.
And your mom is Samburu as well.
Yeah, my mom is Samburu.
Kudos to her.
Yeah.
Kudos mom.
Yeah, my mom is Samburu.
Okay. And I also, in terms of this your organization, Girls Dignity and Empowerment Initiative. Are you on social media? Are you, you know, how do you run your things for people to be aware? Ama tu ni wewe tu mwenyewe, you know, because you had mentioned you have a team, but you did not come with them today. So are you on social media ama tu yenyu ni nyinyi tu mnaoperate tu?
So I started my organization last year, and we are actually going to Samburu on 9th of March next month. We'll be going to schools and meeting with the girls who are not going to school. They are called Manyata girls, Shanga girls. So it just started. It's a grassroots organization. It's just starting, but I'm working on the website and all that. We've worked on the logo already, and we are partnering actually with some other organizations, like Galid Foundation, Sawaina, Evara Foundation. Yeah, we partner with them so that at least we can get access. No, we can reach out to as many girls as possible. So in this 3-day, let me just say, trip to Samburu to end period poverty. It's like a campaign. We'll be reaching out to 2,000 girls in schools and in Manyatas. So we will be giving them sanitary towels. We will be talking to them, restoring dignity in them. We are going to involve boy child yeah, because now if these girls, you know, don't study, and they study, see, you know, they'll end up marrying them. So we will be engaging boy child and girl child. So we are not segregating anyone, because we also need to pump knowledge into the
boys as well.
And teach them on how to. So shout out to Sawaina Girl Aid Foundation, Evara. We will be partnering with them, and we'll be doing a 3-day trip or a 3-day campaign to Samburu.
Sawa. And just to understand, you've said you started this organization last year.
Yes.
So what are some of the challenges you faced? Because I'm sure kumekuwa na challenges. Ijakuwa tu ati a smooth road for you. So what are some of the challenges you faced, and how do you think you can be able to be, you know, helped, or how can you be able to mitigate some of the challenges that you faced as an organization?
Okay, so the challenges are, of course, the funds, the fundings, and we are actually open to partnerships. We are open to donations. We are open to you know, anything that can help girl child there.
For sure.
So for Girl Aid Foundation helped us with what is it called, dignity kits. These are the panties, reusable pads, disposable pads, toothbrush, and, you know, some what is it called, some anything to do with dignity kits. So the challenges are there because of the funding, especially.
That is the major challenge.
The major challenge is actually the fundings. And about us going there, we will be talking to girls, and I know, of course, sometimes the girls are shy, especially the ones that are married off earlier, of which those are our target. You know, we want to talk to them. We want to ask them, do they still want to go to school? Because we wouldn't want like a 10-year-old be done with life. Unaona, like hii kwetu maisha yake imeshamaliza. Now that they are married, they cannot go back to school. So that is actually our major campaign.
That's really interesting. You said 9th of March.
9th of March will be
Samburu. You also share with me your logo. Kwa screen for the sake of
that is okay
of the viewers.
That is okay.
And you said you've been there for 1 year. So journey imekuwa tu sawa, of course, despite the challenges. You've been able to you know, reach out to some of the girls. Do you have like a number, or you've just
Yeah, I've been doing it since 2017. It's now that I want to take it to another level.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I've been talking to these ladies, girls. Sometimes they call me sometimes and they're like, Nablu, thank you so much. I am in college, you know.
Yeah.
And I am really thankful to the education department of Samburu, especially the teachers. They allow you to talk to the girls. They are very, very supportive when it comes to that. So when you go to a school and you're just like, I want to talk to these girls, even without bringing anything, they allow you to. Yeah, you talk to them, you speak to them, you know, you nurture them, you show them how to. As I said, I have a team. I have board of directors. I have our communications officer. Shout out to Lamek. Actually, he's the one who's been really been on the ground, and yeah, he's been really instrumental on this. Yeah,
Okay.
and we are still seeking for funds and pushing for funds. Anything that can help, you know, for us to get there. Hata gari tukipata hata transportation, someone who can just offer us transportation or a bus and tells us, because now you see we are a group of people, we are a team of organizations here. So we are like 15 people. The accommodation
Aspect, yeah.
the accommodation, food, the transportation, that is now where the problem comes in. Yeah.
But manze, keep the fire burning.
Thank you.
You're doing such an amazing thing, and I will really want to encourage you, as in chapa tu shughuli, usichoke.
Thank you.
And this is a very good initiative.
Yeah.
Na nitembe Samburu.
Karibu sana.
Nikuje bana.
Karibu. Actually, by the end of this, I want in 2036, we've helped more than thousands of girls out there, you know.
That's what we call you have a 10-year plan.
I have a 10-year plan, yeah. So I would want to help like those girls. Hata Mungu akinisaidia for me to be paying their school fees, I will be very glad to do it. Yeah, just to see a girl out there speaking for herself, you know, thriving, and she's coming from a marginalized community.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ameacha kuchunga mbuzi huko. Unaona, like she's not seeing that life anymore. She wants to get somewhere more. Yeah, she's ambitious. That is what I want, actually. I want to be a role model to them.
And you are, by the way. Usione ni kama hata sahi mali huko. You're doing such a good thing. And of course, kila journey starts with, you know, one step, yeah? So pole tu na things will be okay. Hata unaona pia mimi sahi tumefikisha 200 subscribers. Watu tuoan sasa. Tuendelee guys. So Lemantile.
Yes.
Nabulu. Jina ni very, very, very unique.
Yeah.
So I think there are some people uko under, not under, behind the scenes, nyuma ya tent, or they have some questions to ask you. So I think you'll go first. Hata kama watu wakuoni, just ask.
So with FGM, are there any health benefits, or not only health, but are there any benefits of FGM that we do not understand? And is the reason why it's still upheld in your culture or community? Maybe you can enlighten us so that we might be overlooking an important aspect of it, either health, or is there a way it can be incorporated in a healthy way so that it can preserve your culture while still ensure that it does not harm the girls in the community? Basically, a way to mesh culture and dignity or science. Yeah.
There's no any benefits of FGM. In fact, I had people, because I am not circumcised myself, so I've had people saying that when they get someone who's circumcised, when they give birth, it's actually really that bad. You can even die because you've been cut everything. So you've been cut everything, and sometimes you can get like some women complain about back pains, every now and then. And then there's others who get these UTIs really quickly, because now you see there's no part that is covering the inner side. And some say that there's something inside the womb that, sometimes it drops. Yeah, so there's no benefits of FGM. There's no kabisa. Actually, it's one of the worst thing a human being can be done. Mungu hakuwa mjinga akituweka hapo. Yeah.
I think I have a follow-up question to that.
Okay.
Do you know why it was started? Because other communities don't practice it. Maybe the Northeastern, I think. Do they?
Yes.
All the communities, yeah?
Yes,
So
yes.
outside of Northeastern, other communities don't practice it. So how did it happen that your community, that the communities around you practice it? How was it reached, and for what benefit? Is it that it was reached?
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the reason why people practice FGM at home, according to our people there, is because when a man gets circumcised, there's a ceremony, right? So does a woman. So it's a rite of passage for you to come from the girl side, and then you get into a woman's side. So when you get circumcised, you be like now a woman. You're ready to get married. In fact, in our culture, there's a joke. My grandmother was was talking to my grandmother the other day, and she was making a joke, and she was like, "Do you know you cannot go to it's called Rorora, like a social gathering where some our clans go now, and I cannot, if I get married to a Samburu, they're not going to count me as a wife. Yeah, so I'm not going to be like a real wife. I cannot go do the, like, I don't know how to describe it in English or in Swahili, but I cannot be in that, like I'm still a girl. I'm not a woman ready to, lead the family, not lead the family, to be the partner of the man who leads the family. So yeah.
So I think it's like a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage, yeah. So if you're not circumcised, you're still a girl. If you're not, like, that is what they put in mind. And nowadays, now you see that our government, shout out to our government, regardless, they have really tried to, if they see someone doing it, they arrest them. But now they're not getting into the roots of it. So unapata wakati ingine, hata when you go to like manyatas there, they do it at night. And sometimes it's the peer pressure that makes you get circumcised, because you're like, if I'm not going to get circumcised, will I be married? No. Will I be married by a Samburu? No. And especially our culture, it's very hard for you to be married outside. It's basically, if you get married, they say if you get married to a Samburu, that's when now your family will start, like wanasema in Samburu, I don't know if I can say it in Samburu, but they say kete shinyang etayan titongang, I don't know, msichana mwanamke bomba ame, like familia yake iko sawa. Now, because now you see you've been circumcised, you've gone through all the rites of passage and all that. So yeah.
Your question?
What made you to be enlightened at a younger age about FGM?
Okay, the reason why I didn't do FGM is, you see, there are these organizations right now, kama vile mimi nimeanza yangu. So there's this organization called World Vision. So sometimes they come to school, they come to schools, they're like, circumcision is bad, these are the effects, and you try to weigh that there's no one in our culture that circumcision has really helped, especially the girl child. The best thing that you can get is being a wife, and a wife to a man who doesn't even, you can get married to a man who's 70 years older. Yeah, so you're basically like a tool, you know, or an object being used for you to, because this guy needs a family, so they go get you married off so that he can have his family. They use you as an object, basically.
Does it mean that being a Samburu man, you have to be single all the way to 70 years for you to marry?
No, in Samburu culture, you can marry up to the number of wives you want, as many as you can, as long as you can provide for them. So, for example, if you are older, right? You are like 60 or 70 years, and your wife dies. You know, they'll tell you to remarry because they still want that generation to stand. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kwa yako. Anyway, sawa. So maswali zimeisha. So I have normally in this podcast hii ni kitu tumeanza this year. So usually either a question or advice for the next guest. So which one do you want to choose?
I will advise.
Yeah, advice for next guest basi.
I have known the next guest for the past, I don't know, 8 years. So he's doing a good job actually by helping. He's also into humanitarian organization, and he's doing good. You're doing a good job, Ken. For
Ako hapa just in case.
yeah, he's here. So of helping the the vulnerable kids and the kids who are in the orphanages and all that, he's doing a really great job.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep it up.
So shout out to Ken.
Shout out to Ken.
Sawa sawa. So
actually he's the one who brought me here.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end. Na sidhani kani kwa kitu mingi, so I'll just say like, you say share,
and then I finish with subscribe.
And bye.